What is up, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are checking out Definitely Not Clayton's August playlist for Patreon. I'm almost caught up on the Patreon request. I've got an album I've got to get done, and then we should be good rolling on into September and get a little more variety back going for you. We've got 5 VK bands for you on tap today. A couple of them I've heard, the tracks I haven't. First band is one that I have not heard. The band is Oz. The track is Illegal Sleep. As always, I'd like to thank Definitely Not Clayton for the support. It truly means a lot to me. I'm sorry it's coming in beginning of September instead of August. I like to try to always get these done during the month they're turned in. So let's get into it, shall we? I have not heard the band. The band is Oz. The track is Illegal Sleep. It's the first one we're getting into today. And here we go. Already getting that very big new wave of Swedish death metal like sound here. Absolutely love those riffs. I like the clarity of the cymbals. I like the presence where the bass is. Get a little bit of that metalcore as well. It's cool to shift from that style of riffing to a more traditional VK style here. A lot of that very familiar male, rich, deeper tone VK vocal here. Really like the guitars and the accents. Definitely more of an American metalcore feel here in that chorus. Go from those jazzy textures to those really strong gated riffs. Really love that vocal layering there. I like the different textures the vocal layering is providing. I like how you've got the different vocal tones, with the main tone using a lot of that vibrato. Wow. Certainly comes from the Kaisou school of using a bit of that vibrato for different coloring. A lot of power and pain and anguish that I'm getting from those choked, strained vocals and some of that vibrato. I like these ambient textures being utilized here with the accent guitars. Definitely get almost a death metal feel from this. More of that European style with the vocals going on. I like that raspiness in his voice. This really does remind me a lot of almost early 2000s American metalcore. Really like a lot of these influences. Love that kick sound too. It's got enough resonance and body to it that even with a little bit of that click, you're still getting the rest of it. Really like that sound. Like, this riff is something that I would expect to hear from early, like, Of One Blood era Shadows Fall. Or even bands like Dark Tranquillity. Or earlier In Flames. So it certainly can go either way. Great groove here. Love how they finished that riff off, just barring it and chugging it down. Descending like that. Chung chung chung. Just great stuff. Again, very death metal. And really dug that. That was Oz. The track was Illegal Sleep. It's the first one we're listening to today. And it's certainly one that's highly enjoyable right out of the gate. It has a lot of hints of stuff that I really like. A lot of that melodic death metal influence, some of the early metalcore influence. And they do a great job with the verses of bringing it into more clean textures. There's a lot of guitar textures going on. There's a couple of different ones. This is one that I wouldn't mind actually going and really breaking down. Because there's a lot of stuff going on. Love those clean tones that they're utilizing. They really add a lot of dynamics and a lot of different nuance to it. And then the choruses, the post-chorus are much more stripped down. They're heavier. They're more death metal influenced. I love the multiple vocal layers. That vocalist is singing several different parts, almost a la Devin Townsend, when Devin Townsend goes insane with his vocal layering, where he'll sing 10 or 12 different vocal melodies and then mash them all together, like what he did when he sang on one of the Aryan records about 10 or 11 years ago. And those different vocal layers really add a lot to it. Highly, highly enjoyable. I thought the mix was great. It wasn't completely perfect, and I don't feel like a mix should be. Had a lot of that darkness. I like how they didn't fix some of the growls. You still had some of that rasp. You could hear him pushed a little bit. You could hear that breakup, and I like hearing that in the voice. Instead of polishing it and making it feel plastic, you really get the actual vocal out of it. Really, really, really enjoyed that track. That was a lot of fun. Next band is D.I.D. They're a band I have heard before. I've done one track. I have not heard this particular track, so let's get into it. The band is D.I.D. The track is Paranoid Personality. Now, I haven't looked up lyrics for any of these, so I'm going purely off feel. Certainly something that you get a lot from these bands, where they're opening up with these piano sections, the black and white. I like the mix of the pianos and the acoustics. It's really working together. Like the vocal treatment here. How it's set far back, very faint. Like you're yelling into a room with great acoustics. Really like that feel. Beautiful piano work. Clearly it's going to kick in at some point. Or maybe it doesn't. Oh, there we go. Wouldn't have minded that transition being a touch more seamless. Now we're getting into the insanity. Absolutely phenomenal riffing. Very progressive death metal in its approach here. Outstanding guitar work. Really interesting vocals here. Definitely getting a lot of that melodic death metal, Swedish melodic death metal influence again with the metalcore. It's got such an interesting high range. I don't know if it's an effect he's using or if it's just his voice, but it's really impressive when he goes clean. Certainly get a hint of that co-influence. There's no question there. I love that double bass pattern. How the drummer's doubling up at points. It's something a lot of your newer metalcore and deathcore bands are starting to do. What the choices of where they're palm muting is really awesome. Really like how they're working these riffs. That's a great transition. This is something you might expect out of a band like Architects with these soundscapes coming in. Or if it was a little darker, it might be something you would expect from Fallujah. Love the interplay between both guitar players. I love that piano layering above it. Love the chorus-like vocal that's adding that backing vocals, those backing textures. Such amazing dynamics here. Great change back into it. I thought it was going to close out. Absolutely nasty scales being played by the guitar players over that phenomenal drum pattern. You know, I can see how this might actually be divisive in a way. If you're a Duran Gray fan, you're either going to love it because it's familiar and it sounds amazing, or you're going to hate it because of how similar those highs are to some of the things that Ko does. Love his aggressive there. Certainly compressed. He's certainly cupping a little bit to get some of that resonance. But it's delivered really well. Got so much control when he's going aggressive. The way he's shifting his pitch, awesome. That's immediately going into a playlist. That was wicked. That was DID and Paranoid Personality. Man, that was a monster. That was an absolutely phenomenal piece of modern metal. You want to call it death metal, you want to call it metalcore. Not really going to matter. It's a phenomenal slab of modern metal. You've got those modern tones going on. The production is very slick. It's very, very slick. It's very polished. Levels are great. I'm really happy with the way they've mixed it. And they've certainly got a lot of different things going on, a lot of different elements, a lot of dynamics. Their drummer is fantastic. He's got a great sense of where he needs to be. Some really killer accents. He's playing a lot of rim shots. You can hear it. It really translates. His blasting technique, his double bass technique, his fills are awesome. Bass players really just kind of hanging out there and making sure everything glues together because there's a lot of complexity going on with the guitarist, the drummer, and the vocalist. He's special, man. Those highs are certainly very colic. And it reminds me of some of the Araki era during Gray. But I love what he's doing up there. I love the chorus stuff. Those massive amounts of vocal layering, all the different textures. Really cool stuff. Love how much control he has when he's going aggressive, either in high or low pitch. It's ear candy. It's so enjoyable. It's a blend of catchiness and technicality. And that was a treat. It really was. That is one that I will slot into a playlist immediately. Great call, man. Phenomenal call. Next band is Jiluka and Ovilus. Have not heard this band either. This is a new one. So let's get into it. Hearing a lot of VK lately that I have not heard. Definitely, this list is definitely full of the heavier, more death metal influenced stuff. Or you get those tech death sweeps. A lot of blasting going on. That was interesting. Didn't expect that. The synths kind of made this whole mix really muddy. Very machine-like in that percussion. It almost sounds like a drum machine. It's clearly sample replaced. A lot of really not disjointed, but very abrupt transitions. I like his clean. I like this semi-clean vocal he's using. There's your new wave of SDM riffing. Theory at the gates. Drumming is nuts. Wish you hear a little bit more of that bass. It's kind of scooped out of the mix. Insanely tight gated riffing here. Really interesting electronics going on over top of it. Breakdowns that would make a lot of the metalcore crowd green with envy. They're doing a really good job with them.
I think it's talking about
lot of sweeps here. You certainly get a lot of that neoclassical influence. I would have liked to hear a little bit more phrasing than just throwing sweeps together in a solo. That's a personal preference. These guys are all over the place. Probably want to tighten up some of these transitions. Drum patterns here are fantastic. All right, that was Jiluka, that was Ovilus. That's going to take another couple of listens for me to really, truly decide if I like it or not, to be quite honest. There's a lot going on. There's a massive amount of influences hurled into one track, into 4.5 minutes. You know, it's very modern metalcore, deathcore. And there is a ton of stuff thrown into a blender to make that what it is. Semi-clean passages, really deep, aggressive passages, very bubblegum, happy metalcore vocals going on that are almost punk-edged. A lot of technical drumming. A lot of... You can certainly hear some of the sample replacement. But the drummers, I'm sure the drummer's probably pretty capable. A lot of sweeps. Man, there were a lot of sweeps. As an Yngwie fan, there were a lot of sweeps. The guitar player is clearly very talented. Their lead player, but the embellishments of just constant sweeps after sweep after sweep arpeggio. Could have done. I guess he could have done some things that were a little different than another sweep. I thought I was listening to a Jason Richards track for a second. And very talented. I'd like to hear a little more than just sweeps. I'm certainly going to have to hear the track again. I can't make a definitive statement one way or the other, whether I like the track or not. I think there's some really good points. I think the vocalist has got a great voice, clearly capable of doing a lot. Band members are very talented, and they can clearly play. And production is, again, it's that very crisp, very polished, very clean, modern metalcore, deathcore production. But the con there, for me, the transitions seem very disjointed at points, and it seems like they're just throwing stuff to make it stick. There's a lot of influences that have just been tossed into a track to make it work. There are a lot of sweeps. That's certainly a negative. I'd like to hear more, a little bit more diverse lead playing. The guy's clearly capable of doing it, so I'd certainly like to hear that. And I want to hear more. And I want to go back to this track a few times and see what I think. I'll have to put an update video or something up. But guys are clearly talented. I clearly look forward to hearing more from them. So we'll see what it brings. The next track is the 4th single from the band Kaisou. I did one track on a playlist not too long ago. Or actually, I think I might have done it by itself. But there are several Kaisou fans out there. Definitely not Clayton is one of them. So let's go ahead and get into this. I don't know the name of the track. It's just, I know it's Kaisou's 4th single. Here we go. already like the riffs. They're already very familiar. Love the outfits and the insanity going on. Drumming sounds like something I'd hear almost from Shinya. Definitely getting some of the Duran Gray influence here. Wish these guitar tones were a bit more forward. I like the groove they've shifted into here. Really like the way the vocal melodies in the chorus are structured. You've certainly seen the Asylum motif before. I like that riff we got for about 2 bars. Certainly getting a lot of that tremolo pit. New wave of Swedish death metal riffing, some of those really strong, gated modern riffing. This groove really facilitates the crazy, almost spastic vocals going on. Love the creepiness and the discomfort they're providing in the video. Really like all those melodic vocal textures. Great drumming. Ah, here comes the drum kit destruction. All right, that was Kaisou, and it was the 4th single. That was a lot of furious insanity, and that was actually really enjoyable. So that was great, man. A lot going on. You understand why? Kind of screwed this up. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of Duran Gray influence, which kind of to be expected at this point, is influential and established as they are in modern VK. There's I love the clean tones. I love that high pitch. It's not something I'd normally be a fan of until I started listening to a lot of VK, but really like that vocal. I love the discomfort. I love the chaos. I actually think that more subdued Shinya-like drum style works here. And there's a time when I first started listening to VK where I wouldn't have said that. But I think it works. I actually found it kind of endearing. Think the mix could be a little better. I do wish those guitars were up a little bit higher when it is a really guitar-driven track. There's some tremolo riffing that I was having trouble making out, and some of the other riffing I was having trouble making out. When you're doing some intricate riff stuff, I'd like to be able to hear it a little bit better. But I know these guys are just kind of getting there, and they're just figuring themselves out, so I know we're going to get more in the future. But it was really enjoyable, and I haven't done anything on the first two. At some point, I'll have to go back and listen to the first two as well. I'm looking forward to hearing more from these guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they develop as a band, because they've got a lot of talent, and they've got a lot of potential. So it'll be good. The last one we're getting into today that I kind of screwed up a little bit there is Dimlim. I don't know the track, because I cannot read kanji. But let's get into it. It's the second Dimlim track I'm doing, I think. It's a cool way to open the video up. Another one of those videos in black and white. Or at least the opening of it in black and white. I like the way the guitars are panning here. I like the riffs. I love the distant guitar accents going on here. That's a really killer touch. The creepy discomfort factor is high here. Getting some of those almost industrial like vibes going on from the vocals here. Certainly getting more of that co-influence. Love how heavy and low those riffs are. And how punchy and clear the drums are. Good feeling. Get a really strong chord influence here. From the slapping to the guitar riffs being used as accents. And the vocals. Lot of string work going on. A lot of interesting textures there. They're certainly going after that dirt and gray like chaos. They clearly want to impart that on the listener. Doing a great job. A really subdued solo here. Wow. Wow, I'm just gonna need the translations for this. This is something. The crazy shift. The video got like I can't tell what's going on here. Beautiful shift into this clean English passage. Love the vibrato. Clearly, she's killing the guy. Love the accents going on above that guitar riff. Wow, that was incredibly powerful. It was disturbing, it was uncomfortable, and then it moved into this beautiful passage at the end. Absolutely phenomenal. What a way to build the track. To suck you in and get you feeling a set of emotions and then just crush you. Just crush you with this intense, mournful pain and anguish. Amazing video. It was well shot. It was well executed. Everything about that made me feel what I think they probably wanted me to feel until they fed me the next piece of it. That pause was brilliantly done. I don't always like pauses in a video like that or a song like that, but it works so well here. It's executed incredibly well, and it's very effective. Like the mix, very happy with that. I've got no issues. Great diverse amount of vocals here. This whole playlist was very metalcore, deathcore heavy, and there's a lot to like here for somebody like me that really likes that style, and for other fans of metalcore that might not have heard some of these VK bands. If you can get past the fact that they're singing in Japanese and just dive into the fact that they're playing stuff that's similar to some of your favorite bands, you might find something you like in here. I know I certainly have. There's only one track that I really feel like I need to go back to, which was the third one. And the first two were absolutely incredible. The last two were really outstanding as well. The Dimlim track is a phenomenal way to close this out. There's so much intensity and emotion packed into this. It's just extremely well written, extremely well composed. It's deathcore meets corn with a Duran Gray and VK twist. And it's an awesome track. Really is highly enjoyable list. It gave me a set of tracks to do for you guys that showcases a bit more of that metalcore, deathcore side of VK, which I haven't had a chance to explore nearly as much. I mean, I've been able to do some of the Crystal Lake. I've been able to do some of the others from some more of the more bubblegum or more easily accessible Japanese metalcore gent. But this is all this stuff's a bit darker. And I like the feeling of it. I like the impact. I like the emotion of it. Certainly gonna have to get some lyrics translations, especially for these last couple. This last track was a beautiful monstrosity. It really was. And I loved every second of it. Definitely not Clayton. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for a killer list, man. This is a good one. It was a great one, actually. And highly enjoyed it. Sorry it's taking me a little bit to get to it. I'll make sure to get this month's list done faster. Love you guys. I know some of you guys are going, hey, there's been a lot of VK lately. There has been, and part of that is I wanted to make sure I get all the Patreon stuff from August done, and the overwhelming majority of the Patreon supporters I have want to hear the Japanese stuff. So if you want to become a Patreon and you want to give me something other than Japanese stuff, please feel free to. We'll take care of it. And I'm always happy to do other stuff for you guys. But a lot of that tends to be PK oriented and J-Rock and J-Metal oriented. So that tends to be what I know we're getting into. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate everything and all the support. Truly, truly I do. Thank you to my law enforcement, military, veterans, and first responders for what you do every day. As always, you have been awesome. I have been Baldman. I'll see you in the next one. Be excellent to each other. Keep head banging.